Up to this point, the Rooster Road Trip has been finding birds thanks to permanently protected habitat and private land open to public access via North Dakota's Plots program. It's no secret that a successful hunt requires quality habitat and access to it. But how do these important factors play into the overall future of our country's hunting heritage? To learn more and to hopefully bag a few more roosters and sharptails, we decided to spend 2 days hunting 2 completely different regions of North Dakota while linking up with 2 folks who have personal and professional stake in the game. First up, we hit the fields with Kayla Bendel.
Do we want to swoop into this slough? It's a little gnarly, but there's birds in there. You can hear them.
Kayla used to work for Pheasants forever, and now the North Dakota Game and Fish Department is lucky enough to have her as their R3 coordinator. As an avid outdoors woman and mother who loves hunting and fishing, the recruitment, retention, and reactivation of hunters and what they represent for the future of conservation is near and dear to her heart.
Started out rain, now I think it's just gonna be wind. Hey, I got a point. Never mind. We're tracking. Oh, back on point. Maisie was a real birdie, still is up top here. Point. Right there, rooster. There's one. Be ready, right there. Ah, shoot it. Good shot.
How did they not get up from when we walked by there? I'm impressed they held that tight in grass.
That's what you call the bachelor group.
Yeah. Was there 5 of them?
I think 4.
Yeah, look at that.
Oh
That one's,
boy, look at that.
that one's a nice
spur.
one.
That's the old Pheasants Forever long spur there.
First one, new spot, day 3.
There's some birds up
A
there.
lot of birds right there. And like you said, it was a good bachelor group.
No wonder he was on point. Fetch, buddy, fetch. Head. Bring here. Hold. Hey, hold. Leave it. Leave it.
Nice.
I think that's yours. I don't know.
Tag teamed it.
Yeah. I know I missed the first shot, but. Do you want it?
Is that Finn's bird?
It was. I was trying to call him back, but he was on point.
No, Mom. I know what I'm doing, so here. It's turning into a really nice walk.
Yeah, that turned up a bunch of birds.
Yeah. I knew they'd be in these little, there's like random sunflowers. It's just so weird.
I love how it's set up though, where it's little food plots versus one big one, because it makes it much easier to manage when you're out hunting. You know, being able to target those little areas, and for the birds, it's nice that they don't have to travel all to one spot. They're able to kind of go to a food plot here and then still have good cover around and then hit another food plot without having to fly long distances to one central location. So I really like how this is set up.
Yeah, and they have like everything they need in this piece, I feel like. They have thermal cover, food room cover.
Yeah, beautiful piece. Plots land provides.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I think from what I understand, R3 in North Dakota is kind of unique in that we're not necessarily hurting for outdoor recreationalists, you know, hunters and fishermen and things.
Are you balancing like North Dakota residents feeling like there's already enough hunters, there's already enough pressure with like the other side of it, well, we need more people to understand the resources, the landscapes, fall in love with them, help protect them, and actually go use them?
It's a very tough balance, and I always kind of feel like chicken or the egg. Like, we are clearly like in a habitat deficit. Like, we need more grasslands, as PF is well aware, but it feels like the best way to get people to care about places like this is to get them out hunting. So it's like, do you need more hunters to like have more advocates for habitat, or do you need more habitat before you can support more hunters? And like, I feel like my mind changes every day, but yeah, it's just trying to kind of this really tactful balance. But I mean, at the end of the day, sometimes I just feel like everything we do at the department in a way loops back to R3. So I'm obviously working with partners like PF. But that's where we really just dug into like the marketing component of it and the like encouraging mentorship. Just because like it's so much easier for two people to find a time that works out for them to go hunting together than it is to organize and all the logistics of like an event that you never really know attendance wise how it's gonna go. But it just feels like no one's really cracked the nut. You can keep coming if you want, Emily. Oh, hen. Maybe swing. I think it was a young roo, but. Rooster! Dang it! I couldn't let it go!
Pop, 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 pop.
Dang it.
There's a roo. Dang it! You hit it on the first
I
shot!
know. That was a bummer.
Rooster!
Good girl, hunt him up, hunt him up, hunt him up.
There they go. They were right on top of the dog. You know what I mean? I didn't want to shoot over the dog's head.
Emily? Corn? Trucks? He's just gonna fly right into the tailgate. I think he went down.
He just landed, yeah. Someone told me once that, you know, trying to recruit new hunters is great, but what we should really be maybe more intentional about is just not turning anyone into an anti-hunter. So like there's so much middle ground where people aren't opposed to it, but if they do have a bad interaction with someone, then all of a sudden maybe they feel differently and maybe they aren't as supportive. So if we aren't being a good representation to that middle ground of like fairly neutral people, then we're doing ourselves a disservice.
We set it there for you.
There's going to be a rooster right up here. One landed right in here.
It was tough leaving a Plot's property that we could have pushed birds around in all day. But there's always something appealing about seeing what's around the next bend, especially if the possibility of securing a mixed bag exists. So, we pointed it to a fresh parcel that seemed to offer equal parts high wind and high hopes.
Rooster! Here, no bird.
Where is he? Bird coming, Rooster! Sorry, bud.
Well, and I didn't want to take a shot. I
Oh,
don't know
yeah.
where they were,
No.
but good boy, Fins.
Sharpie! A lone Sharpie's a little tricky though.
Yeah.
What is one Sharpie doing in here, Vince? on. Good boy, buddy. Good boy.
Private land open to sportsmen plots. There's about 800,000 acres open for public access in North Dakota, so it's a pretty cool thing. I mean, it's as good as any wildlife management area. You can see shades of brown and yellow. Out here there's a little green. You know, you got cattails, you got wetlands, you got shrubs, you got just a little bit of trees. That combination of diversity of habitat, you can visually see as a human, not just through the colors. And that tells me, boy, there's probably a lot of different places that birds can find things that they need over the course of a year.
Come here. Come here.
Good girl, good girl.
With our goal of securing a mixed bag complete, we called it a wrap on the third day of our Rooster Road Trip so we could log some major miles while heading due east. Where was our destination? The Red River Valley. Now, some of you die-hard upland hunters might be scratching your head with this decision since it isn't exactly known as a premier spot for birds that don't have webbed feet. But lying within one of the most fertile agricultural areas in America is a roughly 5 by 30 mile stronghold of grasslands, thanks in part to the salinity of the soil and the hard work of conservation groups and the Grand Forks Prairie Partners. And what started in that area as an important prairie chicken restoration effort now held sharptails and a few pheasants. At least that's what we hoped to find. The next day, we started bright and early with Seth Owens. Seth is Pheasants Forever's education and outreach coordinator in North Dakota and a certified grouse nut.
Always close your fences.
If there's anything he loves more than hunting and grouse, it's introducing people to this unique area and all of the birds that call it home.
There's another one going right there.
Coming out of right where I said there were no birds, probably.
I think we definitely want to be that elevated spot there.
So we have a lek about on the other side of this section here. So I bet you they're coming out of that and they're gonna go feed. There they go, right there. All right, so 2 of them took off from there, going back in the plots. So that's good.
Heading towards the cattle.
Sometimes we've had the younger birds hold really tight. So if we can find some of the younger birds, we might be okay.
Okay. I'll tell you what, these birds are not dumb. They can see us coming. They can hear us coming. They're getting out of Dodge.
Get you some water now. There goes one.
That was a poke.
That's crazy. I was with you with your first miss ever. Isn't that nuts?
How much I gotta pay you to not tell anybody that?
Yeah, this is right though, for Sharpies. They want to be able to see you. They see you, they feel safe. Whereas roosters, first inclination is to run around you. Sharpie's first inclination is to fly to the next county.
Yeah, I'd say push up through here. We can kind of just walk it at a diagonal and link up with the plots, is how I'd do it. It's so short, they're gonna see us from a mile away, but it's like if we could find, because like those birds, like 3 of them initially flushed like when we first started walking. But the 2 young dumb ones, that's what we need to find. This is the stuff I like to walk here.
It looks pretty birdie.
Pretty well mixed. Stay, stay, stay. Stay. Sit. Rose hips, food. A lot of the birds I've cleaned this year have been full of rose hips.
Rose hips, you guys get snowberries?
Yep, got a little bit of it mixed in here. There was more on that other side.
So what I'm noticing is lowlands are like various grasses, whether it's brome or this taller stuff, but then all of these beaches or elevations have all of the kind of different micro ecosystems, if you will.
Yeah, I like walking these. I was telling them a lot of the birds that we've been successful with around this area have been coming out of this taller stuff for the more monoculture brome and bluegrass kind of stuff. And then within like 10, 15 yards of where it comes to one of these beaches. We've had good luck with that, kind of working those edges.
A little transition zone.
Yep. Hey, no bird, Tonk. Tonk.
Of all the places to kick them up, I wasn't expecting right there.
No, we have a little break in the grass is what all I got.
Striking out on skittish Sharpies seemed to be an underlying theme of this year's trip. So we figured we'd increase our odds of success by moving to an area that could potentially hold pheasants as well. After all, when in doubt, go back to what you know.
There's some good habitat. It's unposted private across the other side of the road where we've done really well with sharptail in the past. But this kind of in here, it's like you could have a sharptail and a pheasant flush out of the same patch. So I guess check your ID.
I like the way you think.
Yeah.
Don't shoot hen pheasants is what we're saying.
It's frowned upon, yep.
Noted.
I'm lucky to get to work with the chapters and stuff, and that's great. And work with all the people doing like learn to hunt events and things like that. And I love taking kids and adults and bringing them out to hunt for their first time. But a lot of the events where it's more the kind of holistic view, bringing them out on prairie tours and the sharptail lek viewing events, I think is going to grow the amount of conservation-minded people in the state pretty substantially. I love doing those events. And being the introduction, not only of like the introduction of hunting, but being the introduction for people and their connection to the prairies. Seeing the grassland for more than grass. The biggest threat to, grasslands is people not caring. There's a quote, I can't remember who it's by, but it's like anybody can love the mountains, but it takes a soul to love the prairie. I mean, there's a whole world out here that people only see from the windows of their car. And if we can get people to start to slow down and appreciate it, I think that'll be the biggest thing to protecting and preserving these areas. Where the hell did that guy come from?
I heard him and I was looking the wrong way. He must have been way behind us.
Was there a bunch of them or what?
Just one.
All right, buddy, do your job, dude. Stay, hey.
Took me a second to realize that was a young rooster.
Yeah, I just saw the smallest bit of red. That was a young bird.
That was a very young bird.
Come here, Tonk.
A closer shot one of these times during the trip. It's one of the downsides of not having a dog, is everything's just super wild or being flushed by someone else.
Well, they exist.
They're here.
So
you held up your end of the bargain.
That sucker still had yolk on the beak.
Just had to wait long enough to like make sure, and by then it's like, ah!
In fishing, it's like let it go, let it grow, right?
Yeah.
Fetch it up. Fetch it up, fetch it up. Fetch it up. Where's the bird? Yeah, right here. She got the second one.
So we got feathers right here.
Oh, here it is. Good girl, good girl. Bring it here, Mace. Bring it here, bring it here.
Come here, you.
Out, out.
Wow.
Out. Hey, hey, hey. Good girl, Mazer.
Wow. That's the first double of the trip.
First double of the trip. Yep.
That's awesome.
That's quick work.
Congrats,
Nice
man.
little spot. A nice little strip here next to the beans.
Woo.
Good work, Maze. Good work.
Go, Gitch.
All right. All right, Mace. Come on.
Two birds and he's asking about limits already.
I
know.
I'm just curious.
Get it out of his head. How many more do we get?
Yeah, I want more.
Find that scent, bud. You know what you're looking for. I mean, almost got there. Come on, Tonk. Good boy. You did a good job. That was Dad's fault. Yeah, that last one, he was on good scent. We got to find another one like that. Find a bird, buddy. Come on. Get in the middle there. Find a bird. Find a bird.
Seth, what would you say makes North Dakota unique?
It might be flat, you know, generally, but we've got a pretty darn cool diversity of different habitats and wildlife and stuff like that. You know, it's like we've still got wild places in this state, despite, you know, a lot of it, or 97, 96% of it being privately owned. I mean, we've got resources that only exist in North Dakota.
And you have opportunities for people to still get out on even those private acres of plots.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Do you think you're a lifer?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it would take something pretty crazy to make me leave this state. I was born here, I'll probably die here. I'd be okay with that.
Hunters are the visionaries behind the United States conservation movement and public land system, and they should always be at the table to help define the future of both. This is why educating, engaging, and expanding the upland conservation community is one of the 4 strategic priorities that drive our work every day. From healthy habitat and clean water to abundant wildlife and healthy soil, we need more people to understand the true value of our favorite upland landscapes. And perhaps experiencing the magic of a rooster taking flight or the whirring wings of a covey flush is the perfect way for the uninitiated to unlock a new appreciation for a previously overlooked environment. And hopefully, it'll create the spark that ignites into a lifetime of support for conservation at large. Coming up next on the 4th and final episode of this year's Rooster Road Trip.
You know, you have these pockets of cattails and then you just suddenly come out and there's this nice lower area, it's a little bit open, and then suddenly, there they are.
We stick around North Dakota's Red River Valley area where we enroll in a master class on prairie grouse while also managing to knock down a few roosters.
Nice shot.
And there's an opportunity to do some work, and this is a really special place.